Hey everybody, it's Brooks here, First Baptist Church of the Islands. Thank you for joining me for today's 5 for 5. Hope you had a great holiday last week, and maybe for some of you, a longer weekend this past weekend. If you didn't get a chance to check out our newsletter that we send out every single Friday, be sure to check that out. Maybe it's in your spam folder. We send those out via email. Or maybe you just missed it. If you're not getting it, you can find it on our Facebook page as well for our church, First Baptist Church of the Islands. So today I want to share a passage of scripture, and at the same time I want to issue you a challenge also. The passage of scripture comes out of the book of Mark, chapter 4. And what's happening here in most of chapter 4 is that Jesus is telling parables, and he's sharing spiritual truths and very easy to understand, very easy to follow stories called parables. And after he finishes telling these stories, these kind of an earthly story with these heavenly truths, it says in Mark chapter 4, verse 35, it says, "On that day, when evening came, he said to his disciples, 'Let us go over to the other side.'" Let us go over to the other side. Now that may, for you, be very insignificant. It doesn't seem to be a especially meaningful verse of scripture. Let us go to the other side, until we realize what the other side was. The other side in this context would mean that Jesus would be leading these disciples into a storm. And at the same time, when they would travel across the Sea of Galilee, Jesus would prove his lordship over the storm by ultimately bringing peace. Well, once they would get to the other side of the Sea of Galilee, what he would encounter there, and his disciples too, would be a man who was absolutely in bondage. He was filled with demons. He couldn't hold a job. His family couldn't do anything with him. He was living, for the most part, isolated in the caves. He would cut himself. They could hear his cries and shrieks at night. I mean, he was completely out of control. That was what was waiting on the other side. Jesus says to his disciples, "Let us go to the other side." That tells us a lot about Jesus. It tells us that he is drawn to those who are apart from him. He's drawn to those who have needs in his lives. The way this plays in for us is a challenge I want to issue to you, a literal challenge for our church in the month of December. We're going to be engaged in something called the Christmas Community Challenge, and the whole focus of that is it's not some fancy little program. It's really just something designed to get us out of our comfort zone, to go to the other side, right? Places where we might not normally go, to do things that we wouldn't maybe typically think to do at any other time of year, and yet it's to get out of our comfort zone and to go with the message of the gospel, to show the love of Jesus to other people. And we put together some real creative ways to do this, to kind of jumpstart your thinking, but really it's a way for you as a follower of Jesus to put Christ on display. We're going to be posting these challenges. They're already available in our church lobby. You're going to see them on our Facebook page. We're going to make them available in different ways and really challenge you through the month of December to pick one of those challenges, maybe a couple of them. Do them individually or with a group or as a family. And let this be a way for you to get out of your comfort zone, right? To go to the other side and to take the message of the gospel with you, to show the love of Jesus as you serve somebody else, sometimes in very creative ways. Hey, listen, I don't know what the other side is for you. I don't know where your comfort zone is. You may be perfectly comfortable walking up to someone you don't even know and just starting a spiritual conversation, or you may not be at that point. You may be a little bit different. You're not at that place of boldness at this point yet. I hope we're praying for boldness. We need to. But all of us can show the love of Jesus in very creative ways. All of us can kind of get into that boat, go to the other side, out of our comfort zone for the sake of the gospel. Listen, on the other side, there was a man waiting to be set free when he would meet Jesus. I don't know what waits on the other side for you, but I do know if you're willing to go there, one, Jesus is going to go with you. And number two, you don't know what, you have no idea what he's going to do with your effort, right, to demonstrate him to the life of another person. Hey, I hope you'll answer that challenge in the month of December. I hope you'll answer it more than once even, if you're able, but at least one time. This Christmas Community Challenge as you go to the other side and as you put Christ on display. Hope you have a great day today. God bless you.